Warning. Fuck. Warning. Vito talks a lot in this podcast. If you have a fear of rambling Italians, please turn off now.
Actually, his real totem.
Have you even watched
dreaming the entire time.
Chill out. Hello. This is FOVcast. I'm Osho.
I'm Freddie.
And I'm Vito.
And today we're going to talk about Inception.
The film Inception.
Vito has watched it recently.
If you haven't seen it, then seriously stop this right now.
Cobb dies.
Go hire it.
Kidding.
Go hire it
seriously,
and watch it.
This
Crawl
will
out of-
contain spoilers, probably.
Crawl out of the rock
Yes.
you have been living under.
This does contain spoilers, and this contains my newly acquired knowledge from having watched it again for about the 7th time and having watched a 40-minute lecture on philosophy and Inception.
First, would you not word about Inception?
Well, what's weird about Inception?
I remember, this is just one weird fact. I remember before I watched it, my mum said, you have to watch it like 3 times to get it. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And then I watched it and I was like, I got this straight away. And then I watched it a couple more times. I'm like, I didn't get that before. So
know.
you do need to
Do you know
watch it
what
a
I
couple
still don't
times.
understand? I still don't under the stairs.
Hey?
The infinite stairs doesn't make sense.
Nah, yeah, that doesn't.
What are you talking about?
The infinite stairs.
The Penrose steps,
Yeah.
they
know.
they look down and then it's actually disconnected.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fucked.
Because in the dream,
things
you
make
don't
sense,
pay attention
yeah.
to the details.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense. It's just like now you're walking up steps and now they're not connected.
That was for
No, it's
cine-
because your brain simulates it. You think that you're walking
Yeah,
up
yeah.
normal steps
That was
until you
for
just walk up normal
cinematic
steps
effect as
until
well.
you actually look at the detail and you
Anyway.
realize that you're...
So they're saying
What
they're
we-
just walking around
Yeah.
until they
Freddie.
actually notice and then...
Freddie. What we're really here to talk about is the ending. Okay, you know, it's spinning. It's
Yep.
the most.
Yep.
It's the most devilish,
Yeah.
agitating ending in a movie. Except at the same time, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
Things spinning, and it looks like it's gonna stop, and then it cuts out.
Well, actually, my opinion is that
Irrelevant. Okay.
it's actually not a cliffhanger at all. Speaking of cliffs, this is mentioned in the end again, but I'll get back to that. But I think that his totem
Okay.
is entirely irrelevant.
Why?
That's not his totem, the spin top. The spin top can't be his totem.
Why not?
For
It
one,
was already his wife's totem.
for one, it was his wife's totem.
Yeah. You can't use someone else's
Second,
totem.
he told Ariadne how his totem works. Okay, you're not allowed to let anyone know how it
That's
works.
true, isn't
Okay,
it?
That is, yeah, he said
It'll
not allowed
keep
to show
on
anyone.
spinning.
Yeah, yeah.
Not allowed to show anyone your
By
totem.
the way, look, have a look at it, feel it.
Yeah.
You're gonna put it in your mouth. You get used to it.
he's the only one that always breaks his own rules. Okay?
Yeah.
Everyone else always follows them.
like Batman.
No.
Anyway, so now there are 3 people: himself, Mal, and Ariadne, who all know how his totem works. Okay.
Yeah.
One theory is that actually that's not his totem, and that his wedding ring is his totem. And all the scenes where they say it's the dream, he's got a wedding ring on. If you notice, to his left hand. Okay. And that's because in his dream he thinks his wife is still alive, and that's why he says to Ariadne, "I dream so that I
that's
can
a
still
good
be
little
with
Easter
her.
egg. I never noticed
I dream so I can still be with her." Right.
Yeah.
Because he's still got his wedding ring in his dreams, but in the real world scenes, in the airport scenes, when he's home, he doesn't have his wedding ring. But actually, I think that is a second diversion put there by Christopher Nolan. And really, I think the true story is that the entire thing is a dream, and Mal was right all along. He's not living in the real world, and she's trying to get him to wake up, and that's why she's always trying to kill him.
Although he did prove that, well, he did say that he'd proved that he'd used Inception on his wife, performed Inception on his wife.
Yeah, yeah.
So
did.
where does that fit in? How is that in a dream?
What do you mean? She's
He
the one
said
that
that
woke up. She woke up when she killed herself. He's still dreaming.
Yeah, I know, but he said that the idea that she was asleep, you know, she was insisting that she was asleep. We're like, we need to wake up, and that was because he performed Inception,
Yeah.
and it just lasted longer than it should have.
Well, yeah, it stayed in her mind even when they had exited limbo by going on the train
So you're
tracks.
saying
okay?
even though, so you mean there were even more layers beneath?
Yes.
Actually,
No, but don't you see? The things in the real world scene,
limbo
quote
is
marks.
4 layers deep, isn't it?
No, limbo
it
is when
is.
you're under a sedative. When you're under a sedative and you die,
Yeah.
you go into limbo.
But
Well, there are
they said
certain
that
other
he did
aspects.
say that he was that they were experimenting with going deeper and deeper through the layers
Yeah.
of dreams.
Yeah.
They only woke up once. From limbo, they only woke up
No.
once when they got run over by the train. You see that?
That's when they die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that they died on the
They
train
should go
track.
a layer up, right?
And they only went one layer up. Shouldn't they have gone
yeah,
more?
exactly. And I think it's a dream the entire time. So I think Mal is right, and she's going closer to reality, and Cobb is staying there. Okay, and this is how every single character that Cobb is working with, Ariadne, Eames, Arthur, Yusuf, all of them, they are flat. Okay, we know that Christopher Nolan is a great director if we watch his Batman movies, okay? And we know that he has the capability to give depth to characters. In Inception, he purposefully gives no depths, no backstory. The names of them are barely mentioned. I swear Arthur's name is said like 3 times, Eames a few times, you know? And it never goes from their perspective because it's all Cobb's dream. And all of them are just there for Cobb. They're all flat. They're all his subconscious. They're all working for him. How is it that everyone always works for Cobb?
Holy fuck.
They're all flat
mind-
characters, okay?
Mind is so-
blown.
That is simply one theory, okay? And I'm getting this from a lecture
There's
about
more.
philosophy and Inception. Yes, there is so much more.
There's more.
Holy
Yes.
Jesus.
So I've gathered that
You know what's
top
weird? You know
Okay,
what's
what-
weirder than
what's weird?
Inception is the fact that humans give a shit.
I
We go over these
Yeah,
these stories that we make up.
I believe Inception is a great
Humans
story.
are the weirdest fucking animals. Seriously.
Christopher Nolan has
I was working. Okay, I was
Inception on
working
us.
at a place at a stand
your
and
work?
stuff. Yeah, at my work.
Well done.
And which is hospitality stuff. And I was like just watching things, and I was thinking about this is kind of weird. Like I'm preparing food and stuff for other people, and I don't know. It just brought up in my head how weird humans are.
Better go get another toke
No, but think about how weird humans are, right?
while packing the bowl.
What?
No, anyway.
Think about how weird humans are.
Okay.
No one's-
Think about your dreams. I'll show you. Think about your dreams. Every character in there is flat. Every character in there doesn't have a backstory, okay?
Yeah.
Their names wouldn't barely be mentioned, but you would still see them because they're simply just
but
official.
people in my dreams are people in real life.
Yes, exactly. But people in your dreams, you don't actually have depth of conversation and you don't actually talk about
Yeah. They're really
ethics,
bland.
You know,
Like,
they're
you talk to
totally
my mum
flat.
and she's like,
yes. Yeah, exactly. And suddenly, okay.
And they all kind of have you realized that in your dream other people seem more like you?
Yeah, they all portray different aspects of you. And that's what every character in Inception does, okay?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say that.
Okay, because Cobb was the designer, Cobb was doing everything. And then these are all splits off of him, okay, to get him to wake up, okay? He's created them all. How is it that Ariadne just comes back after finding out how messed up Cobb is? He says, she'll be back. He knows that because she's a part of his mind, okay? Arthur is a part of
pretty
his
much
mind too.
Christopher Nolan is even more of a genius.
Even
than
more of a
I thought
genius.
he was.
And this
Yeah.
movie didn't get an Academy Award, and this is because the Academy didn't understand it, okay? And so each character is flat, and that's simply one aspect as to why he's dreaming.
DiCaprio and Oscar.
In the real world aspects, when he gets to Eames, the actor, you know, the acts as Browning or the blonde girl, okay? When he gets to him in Mombasa, okay? There,
That is a fucking awesome soundtrack, by the way.
Mombasa, okay, there, it is explained that that's the real world. Like, okay, he's going in the real world to get this guy to go into the dreams. And he tells them about Inception. He says, we're going to do a big job. We're going to pull this off. It's going to be great. But that's a dream too. And the way that scene is a dream, first of all, it is apparent throughout the whole scene, okay? Eames is there gambling. He's flicking his poker chip, which might be his totem, his poker chip, even though it's not made explicit in the film. And he puts in all of his tokens, which I think are like 2 or 3, and he loses them.
Yeah,
And then he said,
yes.
"Okay, you're buying," you know. So he's got nothing. He just lost his tokens.
Then
He
he
goes
gets
up.
heaps, yeah.
He goes up to the counter and he puts out 2 stacks of totems.
I
Because
thought that
in
was just 'cause
dreams,
he was an awesome forger.
no, because in dreams you can make anything, and he's a forger. He can do anything, right?
Like Moyle said, the Cobol engineering guys pursuing him,
Yes.
like the
Dream, subconscious, the
projections,
the projections
the
in the subconscious, yeah.
persecute the dreamer.
And they jump out of nowhere. Seriously, he's comes around a corner and there's someone right there. And no matter what, they're always right behind him, just like in
maybe
dreams.
this is what Inception 2 is going to be about.
Yeah, whenever.
About.
I hope they don't make a second one.
About.
I love it that they've left it open.
Yeah,
and the
it's
thing
gonna
is,
be, it's going to be like so it's going to be like 2025 Inception 2, and then like 6 months later it'll be like Inception 2 like story 1, Inception
Yeah.
2 story 2, and then it will be like Inception
And then
3,
we'll all wake
then it'll be like Inception the prequel,
Yeah.
and then it'll be Inception Incepted, Inception the Inceptor, Inception the Attack of the Inceptions.
Okay, bring it back.
That's what's
Now,
gonna happen.
now.
Just wait. You just wait.
Okay, we'll be.
Freddie's
we'll be
hardly
waiting
talked
for that.
about this
Christopher
thing, and
Nolan.
now he's venting and all.
Christopher Nolan purposefully made this film open. There's no conclusion as to it, and he hasn't confirmed any theories, okay? Mombasa is a dream, simply because people jump out of nowhere, everything goes wrong for Cobb, okay? He sits down, and suddenly there's someone there saying, no, you got to get out, you can't be here, you can't be
Yeah,
here.
that was
And he
weird.
argues with him
Cuddy.
for so long. In a dream, you get stuck in positions with people and you get caught. And that's when someone comes in.
Where
The guy,
the hell did you read this?
I watched it. This guy gets shot in the back. This guy gets shot in the back and he just falls on the ground. This guy gets shot in the back and he falls on the ground and nobody even reacts because in dreams everything's normal, like even weird things, okay? And then what happens in dreams? You get stuck in honey or suddenly you get squashed in place and you can't move properly. There happens to be an alley which is so thin that he
why
has
the
to
hell would
really
you-
push through.
And also it went smaller. Which
It
was
went
weird.
smaller and smaller.
It
There
was
would
like
not
a
be
funnel.
there would not be an
that
alley
was
like that.
super weird.
Okay? And there's always so many people in suits, like Osho said, they're all like the projections.
Yeah.
Now his totem, not only the fact that Mal, Ariadne, and him all know how it works, to say that it's not a totem, but the fact that his totem works opposite to
Oh, I
everyone
still
else's
have a
totem.
Kit Kat.
Shh.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay, the fact that his totem. Oh my god! Stop eating that Kit Kat.
Okay.
The fact that his totem works opposite to everyone else's. Okay, each of them have imperfection.
Vito's having a stroke. Call 911. He's getting too worked up.
I got it. Okay.
Yeah,
So the bishop falls over in a certain way when you place it. The loaded die always rolls out a number. I don't know what it is. Could be a 3. Okay.
We just call this the Vcast, or?
Okay. I told you I had a lot to say about this.
Okay, yeah.
In conclusion, all of these things have imperfections, okay? But in the dream world, things are glossed over and details aren't paid attention to, so everything's normal, okay? So in the dream world, the die just comes out normal because that's what die do. And the bishop doesn't fall over that certain way. But Cobb's totem is the other way around, okay?
Yeah.
In the dream world, it acts unnaturally. And in the real world, it acts normally. So actually, how can he know that he's
Yeah, I
dreaming?
always thought his totem was fucked.
It's really messed up.
But thing is, though, if it was actually dreaming, how come everyone's dreams aren't like my dreams? Like, if I was incepted, my dreams would be ridiculous.
Yeah, like
in my
thing
dreams, I was just like-
they're all, but the thing is, they're just representing them like that because it's a movie. And what happened to Oscar's computer? Okay, no, it's good. And you know what I mean? Yeah, things are all blorpy and you randomly switch in bits. They did the thing where you don't know the beginning of the dream.
Yeah, but in my dreams, it'd be more like, okay, so I'm walking down the road, now the buildings are made of water, now I'm swimming, now I'm not, now I'm on the moon, now I can't breathe, now I'm awake, now I wake up again from being awake, and then I'm
there's
actually...
when all normally.
Yeah,
like,
then I'm actually like flying around. I can't actually fly anymore. I'm just like scraping along the ground on my stomach. You know, this is sort of dreams. So if I was incepted, they would have a really hard time trying to talk to me because I would just be screwing around. And you know, these people, that's so boring. Just have the most boring dreams.
Okay, one other thing I want to say. Cobb wakes up on the shoreline and there's a house on a cliff. That's where Saito is, okay? You know, Saito's grown old and that's where he is, house on a cliff, okay? And he wakes up there.
Yeah.
At the very end, Christopher Nolan purposefully deploys the use of attention, okay? He makes you pay attention to the totem in the corner of the screen as it pans down into it and it zooms in on the totem, okay?
Yeah.
And you are so attentively looking to see if that totem will spin over, to see if it will fall over, okay? But what you should be paying attention to is what he is talking about with his sons, okay? What does his son say? He says, look, Daddy, I've been building a house on a cliff, okay? They do not live, they do not live in a cliff, okay?
Son of a.
That's what you should be paying attention to at the end of the film. Christopher Nolan makes you pay attention to the totem, which
This
we
is son,
have established.
it begins with his son kicking the shit out of him with his bodyguards.
No, it's not actually. His son isn't Saito. I'm just saying that he's still in the dream because
Freddie,
it's
what the
reoccurring.
fuck are you on? Have you even seen this movie?
I have
Freddie's
seen it.
hasn't
I am
even
just
seen
so confused.
it. No, in
Yeah,
the end,
it is confusing.
we don't need to explain it because we're talking to the people who are listening to this. Okay, we've reached our
Good drink.
designated kind of time limity thing for this, so we'll probably cut it there. This has been a very interesting episode.
In conclusion, Inception should have got an Academy Award instead of the King's Speech.
Yes.
No, King's Speech was a brilliant movie.
We'll talk about that next time
No
on
way.
British TV.
Next time we're talking about canned food. Goodbye.
Okay, see ya.
in a coma.